Morning, everybody. We have the Honorable Union Cabinet Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Shri Prakash Javadekar, amongst us. Please give him a big hand, please. He has taken time off from his very busy schedule for this RPO Conclave 2015, and I'm also thankful to the Secretary, MNRE, Shri Tripathi Saab, for supporting us on this topic. You know, because we needed to take this up as a specialist media, and we are thankful to these people. We have Santosh Goenka, former publisher of Indian Express Group, with us. He's on the dais. We give a big hand also to Prakasham Tata, who has come all the way from US to be part of that. Prakasham Tata is one of the famous personalities who has worked in the area of clean energy environment in the United States and with the government of US. Thank you, Tata Saab. May I request VK Garg, former Chairman and Managing Director of Power Finance Corporation, and also who has been very active in the clean energy area, who is Chairman of the REPA Committee for Clean Energy. Thank you, sir, for being here amongst us. Please give a big hand to all. So today, with this, we begin today's discussion. Basically, the renewable energy in the country has to be at the forefront of our battle against climate change. And because we want to be at the forefront of this battle, we have attempted to take up a very difficult topic of obligation of renewable energy, which is going to impact the 100 gigawatt target which the Honorable Prime Minister has set for the country. It's a very difficult target because without a purchase obligation, without a guaranteed purchase of renewable energy, the investments towards this area will be extremely difficult, which I have seen. And Tripathi Saab gave me those forms. We have, sir, today 200 megawatt worth of filled forms here, which we'll hand it over to you. In the meanwhile, may I request the Honorable Minister to please come and inaugurate the function, and may I request all the people on the dais to please come over for the inauguration, for the lighting of the lamp. With this, we declare today's function open, and the discussions will continue on this, and we promise the Honorable Minister that we are going to generate a white paper out of this. That is the target, ultimately, to see whether we are really going towards that direction. Popli Saab has been very encouraging as well, you know, on these issues. I want to give certain figures here, you know, which I had mentioned in the past. What has happened with the renewable is, solar, today, we have reached roughly 3,000 megawatt plus. But what has happened in the process is, there are some signs that we are also faltering, because even a very powerful model with a project which got awarded in Gujarat, the Gujarat Solar Park, after it achieved 2,214 megawatt, sir, it has only added 35 to 38 megawatts today. So we need to address this issue. Why further capacity addition did not happen? Because we had to build 600 megawatt in Gujarat itself. So there are issues related to the solar, because somehow the solar capacities, the way they should have progressed, have not progressed. And I hope with the new policy direction and dimension which we have taken, which is almost 5 times, because REPA made that report that we should at least double or treble this, the powerful challenge of 5 times capacity of 100 gigawatt on the mission is a very important area we have taken up. With the conundrum in coal right now, I'm assuring that for at least 2 or 3 years, we will have problems in this direction. So, may I now request, without spending any further time, the Honorable Minister because I think Minister साहब के पास कम वक्त है और मैं चाहूँगा कि Minister साहब आज हमें बताएं कि how the climate change issues are going to be impacted. Yesterday I was doing the research. We have come to a level where 400 parts per million of Carbon is already there in the atmosphere in the world. And I think a lot of people have got into flu and problems related to smog, and we are all suffering because of this. So one of the only solutions, the solar is at the forefront. There are other areas like wind. We also look at waste to energy. I feel cow dung based power generation is a very major area. The first cow dung project is operating in Jabalpur, which is a 1.6 megawatt. It's a small capacity, but 10,000 cows and their waste is being converted into extremely valuable power. So we have potential to go to that direction. And I call another area marine renewable energy to be looked at in this country, tidal and offshore wind. So there's a massive potential waiting to happen behind the solar. Solar will lead the way, but there is a massive potential. And I will also see nuclear as renewable, sir, because this is the way the world is looking at it. And I think the Indo-US nuclear deal, which has now taken forward, must also be seen as a renewable component because this carbon-free energy. Hydro, I don't have to mention. We have a fall in capacity today. It has come to 15%. And that is a very low because we were at 26% for hydro quite about a decade back. So this kind of fall in share of renewable energy must be arrested as well. So thanks again to the Honorable Minister and every person who has come today and will continue the discussion today. And may I request Honorable Shri Prakash Javadekar ji to please come and address this forum, sir.
And of the dais, I am happy that a practical session is happening here, that how you will go about power purchase when you are putting so large a target. But our growth as projected by the world leaders and the economists will overpass, we will overtake China in growth rate in next 3 years. If that happens, and if we continue on a sustainable path of development, there are my thumb rules. I'll give this anecdote, what happened. I was heading the planning commission in the state of Maharashtra during 95 to 99. There was a debate about Enron and its high cost energy, and how we all miss. Yesterday I got the same man in the DSDS conference who actually negotiated from the Qatar side. He was the minister then in Qatar on LNG. And we had the fine agreement of LNG supply at a very reasonable rate in Dabhol. But when the Enron controversy grew, the most beneficial part of LNG terminal we did not actually initiate it. If we would have initiated that, the whole thing would have got compensated and the project overall would have been benefit. But I think more than 10,000 crore is a learning cost, social learning cost on that power project. But still we missed that LNG bus. And now we are paying $12 for gas, as we were paying now last 3 months. The situation has little ease, but still that was the scenario. So that time there was a committee of Madhavrao Godbole appointed in 99 by our government, which followed us, Vilasrao Deshmukh's government. It appointed Madhavrao Godbole committee, and he was cabinet secretary here, I hope. So he came out with a calculation that what we did in 95 or what Sharad Pawar did in 92 and the Enron agreement was skewed, that was not the requirement of the state for the power. There is no such demand. And that was the conclusion of the Madhavrao Godbole report. And I was, with my experience of planning commission, I said, Madhavrao is a learned person, is an experienced person, but sorry, you are wrong. You are wrong because my thumb rule says that if you are developed, you are growing by 6%, your energy demand will grow by 9%. If somebody asks me what is the mathematical model to arrive at this conclusion, I said this is just a thumb rule. But it has proved right, and it will prove right again and again, because what I have factored in as an additionality is the aspirations of the people, aspirational demand push by the poor also. And why Rajiv Gandhi Yojana was failing? Because you calculate that we are providing one bulb to the poor family, free of cost, in Rajiv Gandhi. And we think that he will continue to use only one bulb. But that doesn't happen. People have aspirations, people have little purchasing power also, and so he will bring in fan, he will put 2-3 more lights. The next day, always at thousands of places in Rajiv Gandhi Yojana, the transformer used to go bust. Next day, because we don't take these aspirations into. If somebody in 92 would have said that there will be 15 crore families paying 200 to 300 rupees per month for entertainment for TV, nobody would have believed, but that is happening. If somebody would have said that there will be 60 crore people in the country, half the people will have mobile sets and many will have multiple mobile sets, and the number will be 1 billion, nobody would have believed, but that has happened. This is what is the Narendra Modi government's mandate? It is the aspirations of the poor which has reflected into this historic mandate. Because your driver, your domestic help, what help they seek from you? They seek from you help that साहब आपका बड़ा सबसे संबंध है, आप केवल हमारे बेटे को अच्छे स्कूल में और अच्छे कॉलेज में दाखिला दो. That's the aspiration. And so energy consumption, to sum up it again, my thumb rule, I still believe that if you are growing by 6%, the energy demand will grow by 9%. And if that happens, I don't see there is any sluggish market for any renewable or all kinds of power, whatever mix we arrive at. And so if somebody asks me, what is the source? I need everything. I need nuclear, I need hydro, I need biomass, I need solar, I need wind, I need offshore, onshore, any type of new kind of renewable energy, plus coal also. You can't do away and wish away coal like that. Those who come to me for negotiations, I tell them, where is that carbon capture and storage? It's in the lab. Why you are talking of doing that? If you are not, and your own production of coal is much more than what is mine. So, and people who are US people came to me, I said, you are exporting coal because you found out shale. Now you are saying and telling the world that, oh, we are doing clean action. But why then you are exporting coal? If you are so ethical about it, don't export. But then there is a business. So they will export, so somebody has to use. Even I raised the issue of who is the polluter, producer or the consumer, or both. Because your demand, you are purchasing everything manufactured in China and you are blaming it. How this can happen? But all we put together have to walk the clean energy path, and therefore I always say that if Al Gore, the then Vice President of America, put before the world a very serious and a very effective documentary and a book titled Inconvenient Truth, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, with his hands-hold experience of 12 years in Gujarat, has brought out convenient action. That's the reply. If there is an inconvenient truth, there is a convenient action. There is a convenient action. And therefore this debate is very important. I was just asking the secretaries and others of how we pay to those who produce, because everybody needs guarantee for anybody who wants to invest. But we are giving guarantee of 10 years. And there has to be a formula, that formula can be worked out, and that's what you will be doing today. What is the best way to go forward? Because today we are purchasing at 16 rupees those old agreements of renewable solar energy. And now the next auction which will happen, or last month which happened, has 6 rupees, if I'm not wrong. So you are purchasing, government is purchasing power, renewable energy, solar energy from 6 rupees to 16 rupees at various points. But that doesn't mean that now we will purchase at 16 rupees. Ultimately, it will be the demand and supply, and the profitability is at stake. So there is one more debate in climate change. Now our tender will be there for say 5,000, 10,000, whatever megawatts they put in. It will be open to all. Now Europe and America and others are saying that $100 billion commitment per year for cleaner energy and mitigating climate change challenge includes private funding. I said, say it non-business finance. Because private means anybody venturing into investment in India in solar energy program which is so transparent, he will profit from it. So that is not a contribution. That's not a contribution. If any company develops technology and puts it in open source, that's a contribution. Otherwise you are doing business. So business can't be factored into and counted into contribution of the world and $100 billion. No. Because the requirement is $1 trillion per year. The world will have to invest in more cleaner technologies. And therefore this technology becomes an important part. And I'll just give one idea, and you give me notes also for that. Because when we had the meeting last week, was the Prime Minister's Council on Climate Change, Prime Minister Narendra Modi gave us an idea, and we are now working on it. सूर्यपुत्र देशों की संगठन करो, bright sunlight countries, club of bright sunlight countries, and I have started homework. I am talking to people, I am talking to countries, and I'll be talking to our all ambassadors on 10th. Well, it's actually MNRE baby. Yesterday I talked to Piyush Goyalji because this is your thing, but still we as a part of climate change and will work jointly together in that initiative. If I said that OPEC can become the sellers organization, this bright sunlight country club can become the buyers club. We can dictate, and technology, more efficient technology, more cheaper technology is what we want to take advantage of this solar potential. All these are new thinking, and this government led by Narendra Modi is fully welcomes all innovative ideas and concepts, and he comes up with so many things that on those directions we are working. So be sure that your investment is safe. Be sure that your business model won't flounder. Be sure that you will profit. But be sure that you can't have excessive profit and crony capitalism, which was the practice for many years here. That's a loud and clear message. So I hope that all those you can also do. We want to promote joint collaborative research in solar. If we are the solar potential, we should do more research. And the $3 billion kitty which is already having, because we are the only country having seized the coal, 50 rupees per ton, now it is 100 rupees per ton. So we have good amount of funds. And I hope that budget will showcase, and the ministry must be doing some homework to how to utilize that fund for research and development. And that is the only way forward. I believe in human talent and intent, both. And therefore I am not a doomsayer that the world will collapse, the world will doom. No. People even predicted 2012 the world will be flooded. But nothing happened. But 2012 नाम की एक मूवी अच्छी चली, वो बहुत अच्छा था. So that is how we are into this. So today's improved this dialogue which you are having today is very important, and the MNRE people and the experts are here. It will be a continuous dialogue because we want to reach out, because we want to find out solutions, and solutions can happen if the business community, the engineers, the scientists, the business community, the investors all become partners, and that's the way forward. And therefore all government and private initiatives are welcome, and therefore we participate. With these words, I wish all these deliberations very best, and I will seek your assistance in one thing, that please give me the gist of what you deliberated today, because I keep reading every day a small thing, but executive summary, that's what keeps me fresh. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Saab. May I request a small felicitation of the Honorable Minister. May I request Hetal Mehta Saab and Prakasham Tata Saab to kindly felicitate Minister along with Garg Saab. He spoke wonderfully on the climate change issues today. Please give a big hand. Please. Sir, I have a few words, sir, for you, sir. For a minute, I would like to take your time, sir. Sir, I would like you to, sir, consider the son of sun states of India as well, because we wrote this in inertia many years. And I want to meet you, sir, personally because of this issue, because we have a great potential within, like Maharashtra, sir, where I live. It's a state I made everything that was possible. A state which is making $250 billion to $280 billion of GDP. So that is a state which has fantastic solar potential, and we still are working on a policy, and I hope, sir, you guys will help us in having a clear policy. Like Mumbai's rooftops can give 3,000 megawatt. Mumbai's rooftop can give 3,000 megawatt, Delhi also another 3,000 megawatt. So I calculated that if we integrate all the rooftops, of the country, we have 50 gigawatt of potential, sir, for the ABC cities. So I think the Ministry of Environment has a great role in this, because the obligation will not be fulfilled unless the environmental push is made. Because environment push will only help financing solar and other renewables. Because without obligation, I'm very sure that investors will not be very keen to come to this market or any other market in the world, because there must be obligation and bundling of power with conventional power, where we have depreciated costs already taking care of the rest, is very important. So we request the Honorable Minister over here, and now today's discussion in the forum, we ensure that we give you a white paper on this issue. It will not be a simple document, it will be a proper document on which the government can act, and we are ready to involve with the MNRE and IREDA on this particular issues. And I thank you once again, sir, for all you have said today, and we have also the Secretary MNRE, and without spending further time, I want the Secretary MNRE to list down. Sir, I have only 4 or 5 points, sir, which I want to present in front of you, because first, we will be handing over those 181 megawatts which we have been able to. You gave me those papers, I tried my best. If you had given me 6 months, probably I would have even done 1,000 for you. But I'm saying the time I had, we have attempted to do something. And I tell you, even Gurukuls have come, because I saw that it was, you wrote the section, you wrote the ROC companies. But I took a little bit of a risk under REPA. I said, let us do. Even the Swaminarayan Gurukul in Surat has agreed to put up megawatt scale. So I mean to say, sir, let us understand these little decentralized fellows. They will be the most powerful. Like Prakasham Tata, he has a presentation today on how decentralized things can actually be gigawatt. So that is very important. So before we get Prakasham Tata to speak, I want the Honorable Secretary MNRE to talk here on what are the plans, how the 100 gigawatt will go, plus the other areas like 40 gigawatt of wind, because we need to build the whole portfolio, starting with the solar. But of course, solar is the hero. It is the darling. I call it Rasm. हमें ये रस्म निभानी है. राष्ट्रीय ऊर्जा सौर मिशन को निभाना है. तो ये तो हमको निभाना पड़ेगा, सर, सबको मिलके. And as the Minister rightly said, it should not be only, I would say, only profitable intent, but also the real intent to grow the country. Intent and content will act together. And I will tell you, if intent and content go together, we will not fail. We will actually do this before even 2020, sir. Sir, please, sir, we want to listen to you. What you have in your mind, sir. Please give a big hand.
Minister who just left, and distinguished people on the dais, friends. It's a pleasure to be here. In fact, I really enjoy to be in this type of seminars because usually bureaucrats have closed minds, you know. Once you get into lost in files, and incidentally file becomes life, the spelling is the same, you lose touch with knowledge. I often feel that people who have knowledge, they don't come into action, and people who are in action have no time for knowledge. But we do need some sort of mix-up like this, where actually some sort of refreshing of the brain takes place. I'm happy that the 100,000 megawatt thing has really stuck, and PM has taken renewable energy from to a different level altogether. 1st of April, when I joined as secretary, actually we didn't have any, you know, that 20,000 megawatt are there. We were all happy. In fact, some small target, we keep on fighting for some small money from the finance, and with a budget of 1,600 crores per year. It was not a very big ministry, nor, you know, we had these high targets. 18th of June, when the secretaries were making presentations to the Prime Minister and our turn came, you know, every secretary was told to think big, bold and beautiful. Now, big, bold and beautiful, we thought that, you know, we'll make 20,000, so we said we'll exceed 20,000. Well, that is history now, 100,000 megawatt, and my minister has already, you know, published a, you know, booklet type thing, 100,000 megawatt, 60,000 megawatt wind, and so much hydro. We have tremendous potential. I mean, if you look at the location of India, 750 gigawatt of solar we can have. Actually, we are in a stage where you can flood India with, you know, renewable solar particularly. Just take 80 kilometers by 80 kilometers of desert in Thar, which is 200,000 square kilometers. And people say China is trying to lease out Sahara Desert to produce, you know, solar and sell it to Europe. We just take 80 kilometers by 80 kilometers, and entire India's power requirement is met. So the challenge today is not 100,000. We can exceed that. And the challenge is, how do you channelize this energy that you produce in some places? How do you digest it? Those are the challenges for MNRE now. And that's why 100,000 per se is not a challenge. And I met a gentleman called Ritter in Germany, and he was very famous for chocolates. He's still very famous for Ritter brand, you all must have seen. But he's also into solar. So in his company, I was asking, you know, how come solar and chocolates come together? He said, well, by producing chocolates, you know, so long, we have spoiled so much of environment. Now I'd like to do something for the environment. And that is why, a few days back, we put a big ad in newspapers. It's called Green Energy Commitment. It says even 1 megawatt is enough. Every person can contribute. So I was very thrilled when Professor Iyer has, you know, met at various levels, grassroots levels, and got even commitment for 1 megawatt. In fact, when this 100,000 megawatt came as a target, and, you know, we are thinking of, you know, scale, speed, things big, bold and beautiful. In this paradigm of 6 parameters or 6 dimensions, what we are saying is no more we are saying that it is a charity. You know, you are investing money, yes, you please invest. Also think of renewables. Because if you look at the fiscal regime that we have got, no other country in the world gives you a 25 years PPA. Just Egypt came with this thing, is 15 years. Now India is the country where we give a 25 years PPA, which means basically we are saying, please produce, we will buy for you at this rate for 25 years. And Minister was referring to that 18 rupees per megawatt, and those days the cost was so high. I am told it was more than 15 crores per megawatt. Now the cost is 6.5 crores, 6.9 crores per megawatt. The cost has come down, and that has been a driving force behind the solar revolution that we are talking for India now. And but those 88 megawatt set a trend. It made solar popular, it made solar visible, and of course Gujarat was far ahead of it, you know, central government. The way they went for 12 rupees after 5 years, a review. Now these fiscal and financial, you know, steps or initiatives actually makes things more public. And we are at a stage now when we are asking, if you have 7 crores or 6.5 crores, please think of 1 megawatt of, you know, investment in solar, or even to that extent to wind. So we are not asking for charity, we are asking for commercial investment, And like Ritter, what he did in Germany, think of the environment. Think of the past. Professor I referred to, cold, death, cancer. And so while costing, if some weight can be given to these environmental or externalities, the positive externalities, that perhaps has a touch of, humanitarianism, that having done what we have done in the past, and to save our future generations from the things that we know as a negative impact on health, renewable is a good option. It's a, in fact, Mr. Popley is here, the CMD of IRIDA, they have done a calculation because the other day Coal India Limited came to them and said, look, we would like to invest 1,000 megawatt of solar, but we don't know anything about solar. And IRIDA, the financing agency, put them to Solar Energy Corporation of India, who said, okay, we will be the turnkey agents for Coal India, we will do it. You give the money, we will find the land, we will put it, we will sell the power, we will trade the power, you get your profit. And the rate of return they got is around 14%, that is what they have projected. And NTPC, for example, were gone for 1,000 megawatt, more than that, 3,333 to be precise. But it is not a charity proposition for NTPC. It's a profitable proposition. They see basically three things, what the Prime Minister told them. There may be a sudden break in technology, the way technology is moving in solar. Aeroplanes are being made with solar energy. Some plane is landing in Delhi from Switzerland. And there are roads which are made up of solar blocks. And combined with those crystals where 24 hours you can generate electricity. And with these quantum, opportunities coming in R&D, suddenly you will find that, the solar panel efficiency goes to 45% or 40%, and that is average with the thermal is working. You may find actually that renewable is cheaper. And then if renewable is cheaper, the table will reverse. So we must be talking not to subsidize renewables, to subsidize coal-based energy through renewables. And we must be ready for that. That is why, PM felt that we must have something called the Renewable Generators Obligation. Whether it is Damodar Valley Corporation, whether it is Tata Powers, whether it is NTPC, they must have a commitment to produce 10% through renewables so that they have the manpower, they have the knowledge, and they are well prepared to accept a revolution if it comes through. And RGO is a new thing. It is a new type of RPO. That if you are going to produce power, at least 10% should come from renewables. And RPO is, of course, without RPO things will not move. If we are talking about 100,000 megawatt, RPO is a big challenge because mostly the states have to buy it. And the other day I met the managing director of a state transport corporation. He said, when we don't run buses, we make profit. And that means, if they run a bus per kilometer, they spend around 6 rupees, 10 rupees. If they don't run, they save that. But the inconvenience to the people when the buses are not run. And that applies to electricity also. I can shut down, don't supply anything. I won't buy power. But that is not the way, civilization should be working at this point of time. The states must be willing to buy. And they must find a way to bid down the cost. And the cost has drastically come down from solar, from 18 to 6 rupees 50 paisa, and I'm told in some places it has gone for 5 rupees 50 paisa. But if you increase the scale, the price will again come down. Now what the government have done, they have said that if you have a 25 years PPA, the project, the bank finance can go up to 20 years. Now if the loan goes up to 20 years, your cost will again come down. And that is the second question I come to, apart from the land issue for 100,000 megawatt, where I said we have 200,000 square kilometers of a desert, we have highways, we have canal banks, we have rooftops with 1.38 gigawatt of capacity. So India is not running short of land. We have to utilize it, we have to be innovative in use of land. But then the question of capital, yes, $100 billion. But then you will be surprised that on 15th, when the global investors meet is going to be inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister on Sunday 10:30 a.m., we requested the Indian corporate sector and the multinationals, could you give us roughly to understand what you are planning to do for next 5 years? And you will be surprised, the commitments that we have got is more than 100,000 megawatt. That means there are people who are willing, as a matter of business decision, to invest in energy. The only thing, they need some sort of handholding. Land is an issue for them, bureaucracy is an issue for them. So we are planning that those who partner with us on 15th, that is Sunday, for the RE Global Investors Meet, which the ministry is doing for the first time, and we are planning to make it continuously for next 5 years until we meet our target. They will be our partners. We have given a lot of tatkal advantages to them. They can meet me anytime, they can meet the Honorable Minister anytime. Every month we will meet in one of the states. That is, we have decided the date also is the 5th of March again, and 5th of April, and 5th of May. Every month, the whole machinery from MNRE will go. All stakeholders will come, whether the DISCOM, whether the state government, whether any third party. We will try to sort out those issues of land, labor, and capital. We are in touch with the World Bank, we are in touch with ADB, we are in touch with American Exim Bank, we are in touch with KfW, who has already given $1 billion for green energy corridor. And $1 billion we are proposing for rooftops, because the cost of capital has to be brought down. At 14% interest, many small people will find it very difficult to finance. In fact, we are proposing that we will take 20,000 unemployed graduates from all over the country, and they are basically engineers or commerce graduates. We will identify the locations where there is a power station where unutilized capacity is still lying. If 1 megawatt of solar or wind or a hybrid of both is put near these power stations, the connectivity cost will come down. And that is the way we are thinking. In a vast country like India, there is a tremendous scope, not only structurally to re-engineer the process so that the cost comes down, but also the other ways we are thinking that the companies, the foreign companies, can raise rupee bonds in India with a commitment that they won't take it back to their home country in dollars, and they can spend the money here. The cost of capital will come down. IREDA, for example, or any other agency can raise tax-free bonds, the solar bonds. Today, if IFC can raise masala bonds, World Bank has raised solar bonds, many companies have gone for solar bonds, and people have commitment. They invest knowingly that even if my return is not maximum, I am helping for a cause. You will be surprised, last week one professor came into my room, he said, look, I cannot put a rooftop, but what I can do, I can give this much of amount to a ministry, you operate a pool, you generate the electricity, you put to the grid, and tell my state to give me the money, give me the power supply. So directly I am not doing, but indirectly I am participating in a process where solar energy output can go up. There are different ways to do it, and we have been trying to add even more. For example, we are thinking that $500 million this year can be taken from the foreign exchange reserve and put as a fund to assist the companies who are going to invest. So a whole lot of package you will see that is being moved to fund this process. Otherwise 100,000 megawatt is going to be only in words. And we are very good in that, in making laws, making promises. But not anymore, because it is doable. We are putting the land, labor and capital issues with us. We know these are very challenging jobs, but we are prepared to take the challenge. And even the other day PM said, you will put a rooftop, but then who will repair it? You ring up, nobody is available to repair. So 50,000, these ITI chaps and Polytechnic chaps are being specially trained. They will be called Surya Mitras, the friends of the sun. And they will be the ones at the ground root level. Not only they will do mechanical jobs, they will also do marketing jobs. They will tell people why rooftop is good. And that is why you have broken down 100,000, out of 100,000, 40,000 megawatts should come through rooftops. We have the potential. And this rooftop electricity, we call it tax-free income, because there is no T&D loss. You just generate on the spot, either put to the grid or use it. And now there are DC appliances, solar fans. So keeping these things, the 100,000 is not a not a big thing. In fact, you are in a position where you can go do much more. But as I told you, the evacuation part is a challenge, and that in last 6 months almost 50,000 crores has been put into the grid strengthening. We need smart grids, and I must tell you the other anecdote I had in Germany. There is a company called 50 Hertz, and when we met the managing director, he was not very happy, not because of meeting us. I said, I thought he had some problems. In the lunch I said, look, do you have some problem? Why do you look so, this thing? He said, gentleman, I'll tell you, secretary, today one offshore wind project has been commissioned. So I said, you should be happy if the offshore wind project has been commissioned. He said, no, I'm the DISCOM. Now my duty is to provide connectivity at my cost. And out of the cost that I provide, 80% I'll get back from the customers, 20% will go from my profit. And that connectivity we are talking about, that evacuation power we are talking about, and Green Energy Corridor Phase 1 is not enough, which links 8 states. But we are thinking of Green Energy Corridor Phase 2. And like Japan, when they build a metro, they also both sides, they build huge apartment complexes of 120 floor height. Now the idea is people live in the flats and just walk into the metro. It solves the metro, it solves the accommodation of, giving accommodation to the people. And similarly, we are also trying to bring more and more projects around these green energy corridors, right now in Phase 1 and Phase 2, so the cost is minimized. Cost is an issue. Although we say that, environmental benefits are there and our, sustainability is very important, but still cost is equally important, and we have to keep that in view. So the land issues, we feel it is not a challenge. There will be grassroots problems, but those are manageable. Capital is an issue, but we have, thanks to the corporate sector, and in fact, 10 of these best investors, both from public sector and private sector, are going to present the green energy commitment certificates on Sunday to the Prime Minister on the dais. And these commitments, what Professor Iyer has already got some 200 megawatt, each megawatt we value. So please tell your friends, if somebody wants to invest and be, on the path of sustainability, they are most welcome. And we will handhold. We will look at their problems facing the land issues. We are getting the banks together to see that, a percentage of their credit exposure is for the renewable energy sector. Everything we are trying, and we are leaving no stone unturned. And I must tell you that 100,000 will be done. But we need your help, because a movement, if you are going for a paradigm shift, everybody must go. And for this, production is quite achievable, but challenge is the grids, challenge is the evacuation, challenge is balancing the things, but for that also we have the skill, we have the ability to handle, and all the agencies from the Ministry of Power, so the Central Power Grid Corporation, they are all on toes now to facilitate this 100,000 megawatt target. And for this, things like RPO is equally important, because under NAPCC, we have the 15%, the minimum should be 15% of energy mix by 2019-20, which is already there. It's only question of NAPCC targets have been approved by the cabinet. They are our national policy. We must meet those targets, and the states have to be told, because states are, sometimes ahead of us in renewable energy. Quite often. It's Gujarat who brought the first solar policy. We brought in 2010. There are states who have much better plans, and they are in command of the lands. So we are taking all steps to make sure that the states are with us. So when we have a monthly meeting in each state, we are making sure that the state government is also present, the industrialists are present, those who give the green energy certificates, and over the next 5 to 7 years, 100,000 will be done, and India will climb up in the global scale in terms of renewable energy. Thank you.
Sir, I have a few things, sir, which I want to present, because as we go, and because I want you to, sir, note these down. One of the things that we have found is totally 30,000 crores of violation have happened in the area of renewable purchase obligation, and the financial year I am talking about is 2011-12, 2012-13, and extrapolated because we don't have results for 13-14, and the people who have fought this is CREDA. And Shuklaji has fought very tough battle. If, sir, I will share that when I come personally to you, what is written by the appellate and the what kind of order is given. And it is open violation of everything. Because what the order is saying, that the murder is committed, but we allow another murder to be committed. Then second murder is committed, they said wait for another third murder. And after third murder is committed, they say don't take it seriously, because still take it lightly, give a sound warning. That's the type of order I have here. If you read it, it will be flabbergasted, because on one side is the great positive initiative you guys are taking, and the mindset behind is that nobody wants to bell this cat. And only PEDA, that is the Punjab Renewable Energy Development Agency, and CREDA have fought this battle. And all the regulators, sir, we have to take all of them together and find out, they cannot deal with this in this way. And I tell you, this is all private sector generators in Chhattisgarh. We have to thank Chhattisgarh for doing this work and fighting. Private sector in Chhattisgarh as well as DISCOM, Chhattisgarh State Electricity DISCOM, open violation. So what is happening? They go to the regulator, get the tariff adjusted, the consumer pays for the tariff. 810 crores is what has happened for 2011-12 and 12-13. Hard figures with the results are here with me. It's not like we are talking in the air. We have got data to support this. And I'm telling you what we are trying to do. If your ministry supports REPA, we'll conduct a nationwide research on what kind of violations are going on. This is one area. Second area, sir, is the 50 rupees per ton that you have planted on this, which you also told me. Definitely we need to research. And the third one is Urja Vikas Upkar. There is an idea which is a energy development cess, practically for renewable energy. This every state has levied between 2 to 3%, collected from the end consumer, and no accountability is there for this fund. And all of this money is reflecting as profit to the DISCOMs. The DISCOMs go and adjust it on the other side of the losses and do not develop renewable energy. So there are multiple holes here, sir. And I tell you, sir, if we want 100 gigawatt, and I'm seriously telling you, sir, why we had this RPO at REPA we have discussed, because nobody is going and telling our government, which must be told clearly what has happened here. What is lying there, it's a minefield over there, where people have openly violated and no interest was taken in renewable development. Only lip service was provided, sir. So these were instant things that came after my discussions with you. And we got evidences to that effect from CREDA. PEDA has told me that they want this conclave in Punjab now on the RPO. They were so happy with our topic that the chairman says, Professor, will you come here and do? So I have now decided to do this discussion and get you the data. White paper is generated already. First round of white paper will come in 1 month, I tell you, sir. It will be in your hands. I'll present it personally, and I'm going to at least have 1,000 copies distributed to concerned authority, because I do this many times and never get support also, I tell you, sir. This also, you ask Santosh, sir, how much support we get. People don't support you. And sir, you are powerful. Suppose you call for RE Invest. They will give so much sponsorship, they'll do everything. But real organizations like us who are working, we will struggle for our penny, sir. So government also has to support the people who are not the time pass NGOs, people who are actually working with you and ready to work and stand with you, sir. This is my fervent appeal. I left my multinational career, kicked my job and did all these things, you know. I have a very young team. I am the oldest in the team at 45. My young people around here are just an average age will come to about 26. So will you help organizations where youngsters are trying to grow and work on this area? And my fervent request, you have come here, sir, today. It is a great help for us that you came. You were so kind enough. You listened to us. You gave me that half an hour. And I want to meet more and more. My association also is very powerful. See, Santosh ji has run Indian Express for years together. He had 40, 50 publications. Now we are taking help of Garg Saab, who's seen finance. In fact, if we are giving support, REPA can go ahead and create an NBFC only for renewable energy financing, especially for decentralized distributed power. We are looking at this as a mega scale. See why this government can call the 30 businessmen and do it. But my interest is, sir, small people must be involved. I have a case here, one of the guys, which is in my suburb of Dombili. I'm so proud that the first builder who has integrated renewable energy, I can take you whenever you want to come. This man, without incentive, has integrated his entire lift, his entire water facility, and he's operating for 1 year. And when we asked him, this is one Mr. Deshmukh of Deshmukh Associates, he said, Iyer Saab, you know, he's an engineer. He says, Iyer Saab, if I lose 200 or 300 rupees per square feet, it does not matter. Let people be happy. Sir, aise log bhi hain. So we are going to reward this person because the first integrated building in the country, which does not depend on the grid, it runs its lifts and other things on solar. And is practically just behind my house in a suburb of Mumbai. So these are gems of project, because if you publicize this, it will become a mass movement, sir. See, businessmen will come and go, and as rightly said by the minister, it's profitability. But he will say somebody contributes. That is more important. This contribution is, this man was already building the apartment. And he thought, and the consultant came to him. Nice story, you know. He said 60 lakhs will be spent on this. He said, "मुझको 60 lakhs loss होएगा तो चलेगा, लेकिन तुम्हारा effort sincere होना चाहिए." The builder tells his consultant, and they put it. So they spent 55 lakhs on a 30 kilowatt system. That is the reality. Now he has given me a 1 megawatt commitment, but that is the lowest commitment in my system. So the other ones have up to 5 megawatt. Everybody, even our association has committed to you. So I am saying, sir, look at it different way. While you will have the big bosses and the guys who have muscle standing with you and going to the Prime Minister, don't forget us, the millions who can come and make it very easy for you. Sir, we are that organization, right? I would like the millions to come with you, because this is a process where a lot of people will involve with you. Right, I understood, sir. But this was my fervent request, because we are a see, we will not escape from this place. See, we are there for renewable energy. We are there standing. Like I told you, we already planned, the first plan is come for the World Institute of Renewable Energy. I promised you, we have already started the work. And we may launch a autonomous program, 1 year, a fast track with the help of the industry. And it will happen right in Delhi, you'll get the news. No, it's done, that's already. We are all there, see, we are 250 of us, sir. Yeah, for sure, sir, sure. And we will need support for all these kind of initiatives. So thank you once again, sir, for coming. But we want to present this 180 megawatt to you. May I request, in fact, Hetal should come. Hetal and Garg Saab, who is a chairman for all the financing. I think this should be presented to the Honorable Minister, Honorable Secretary. Sir, we will be presenting more by 14. Can I request for a small bouquet for him, please? Hetal Bhai and Garg Saab, Santosh ji, please felicitate Tripathi Saab. Sir, one small diary which you can use from REPA. Thank you, sir, once again for all your support. More is coming, sir. I will try to complete 200. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you once. I would request Popli Saab, because Popli Saab also addressed this forum today, on what IREDA wants to do. Sir, one request I have. This builder whom I talked about, he says, I can get all the builders to do this, but what is the incentivization? Because the next step, if you want to go gigawatt scale. Because BIPV, I saw.
Now this will be part of Housing Kannada.
Acha. So he wants to know, he probably wants to know from you guys that what he can do. Because see, these guys are absolutely hardcore guys. In fact, you should visit the project. मेरा ऐसा कहना है कि आप देखिए आके and see what they have done. They put the wind solar hybrid literally, and that is working beautifully. And we would like to listen to you, sir. What is the IREDA plan for the country? Please give a big hand.
Thank you. Dr. Garg here, our secretary has already left. I would like to start from where the minister said something about Dhabol project. And Dr. Garg was our chairman. We were appraising it. We in fact, when the project was restarted, the price of gas has gone up to $4. When Dhabol project was conceived, it was $2. And they had a long term, and when I was going through the documents, this was a secret document, the Qatar agreement. I went through it, and it was for a 25-year period, it was to come at $2. So what had happened was that probably at that time, the state utility, and that was take or pay contract, so state utility was not in a position to bear that burden of 200, 300 crores. And when the prices had gone up, they had gone back on their promise, and then the problem was that 9,000 crores of asset is lying idle. So that was restarted. We assumed at that time the price of gas was around $4.50. And subsequently also we did some projects where we assumed, like Konasima and other projects, we assumed the gas price as $4.3. There was no gas contract. So we pegged it with the coal prices. And then we said these projects would be viable. Going forward, we had not expected 10 years down the line, not 10 years even, sir, 7, 8 years down the line, the prices would go up to $12 per MMBTU. And that is what has been happening. Then under Dr. Garg also, the ultra mega projects were started. Mr. R.V. Shai was secretary. And at that time, the price of coal was $40 per ton. And people were happy going ahead with the projects. Then suddenly when few private projects came up and we said, where is the tie-up of coal? And the international prices, considering that there was a huge demand in India, the prices had gone up to $80 per ton. And that made them unviable at that time. And assuming that the price will keep going up by 4% or 3% every year, the cost had escalated, that would go up. Now, why I am telling you is, this is one background. And when I came to IREDA in 2007, the cost of solar projects was 17-18 crores per megawatt, and the tariff was more than 15 rupees. So it was felt that, well, how it will be viable. When the solar mission came, 22,000 megawatt looked to be a huge target. And there were a lot of apprehensions in lenders' mind that how will the utilities pay. They were under financial stress. But we said, well, in next 2-3 years, we will only be doing 2,000, 3,000 megawatt. And we have achieved that 2,000, 3,000 megawatt, and that burden was possible to be taken. The prices came down so drastically, it came down to 7 crores per megawatt, and the tariff subsequently came down. And today, the price is, yesterday somebody came, he said, we will be doing it in 6.3 crores per megawatt. So, maybe next couple of years, if there is a downward trend of maybe even 10%, and if the cost of funding goes down by 2%, I think instead of RP obligations, people would be willing to buy this power. That will be, rather than a preferential tariff, this will be a preferred source of power. It is possible.
At the association, sir, we can
Yeah.
even do 6 crores.
Yeah.
No, we have
So-
a category of 6 crores, no? 6 crores. So, I don't know whether
So what happens is, sir, when the utilities are making laws, the normal, any regulator would want that the prices of power should be lower. And I think it would not be fair to blame them once they shift it to the next rollover, they allow carry forward of RPOs to next year. They allow a lot of other things.
That I agree,
But
sir.
I'm coming to,
Lekin
I'm,
suppose they charge the consumer.
no, I'm not, I'm coming to that. I'm coming, this thing was not to, Dr. Garg was here, he was Chairman Joint Regulatory Commission, he knows. Because when the tariffs for solar were announced, he was against it. He said it is 14 rupees. I can't allow this to happen. So our calculation is, sir, in next 2 to 3 years, 3 years at least, we should be at par with imported coal, solar power. And in next 4-5 years, it should reach parity with domestic coal also. It is possible. We don't know. It cannot be predicted. But yes, it is felt. Earlier people said it will not go down further because the cost of material is not going down further. There is inflation. Nobody expected the oil prices to come down to $40, but a lot of things keep happening. But then we can plan it in the best possible way. Earlier people said we should go for a long-term PPA, then the trend changed. We said we should not go for a long-term PPA as the prices are going up, so we should peg it at 13 years. Then again it was felt, so things keep, these are very, very dynamic things. As the technology moves, as the efficiency goes up, a lot of things keep changing. But what I would want is, sir, that we should have a debate here. Maybe we should come out with solutions which are win-win for everyone. And we cannot achieve, the RPO was meant to be a driving force for promotion of renewables, and that cannot be wished away. And in the act that is being passed, there it is being likely to be increased to 15%, and the penalties will also go up. And Forum of Regulators has also agreed to it in this thing, and on their recommendation, yeah, you would have. So I am sure once this happens, then only states will come forward to sign PPAs. But already 2-3 states have entered into MOUs for development of 5 to 10,000 megawatt. And one more thing, sir, I want to share here. When the target of 1 lakh megawatt was given, nobody was thinking that this is possible.
We were thinking, sir.
You were thinking. You were the first one. You said, why not 50,000 when it was 20,000? I remember that. But then our secretary said, yes, I will see how I will make it happen. And then the whole trend started. And then he came out with the idea that we will take these green energy. And then, sir, we had planned this renewable global investors meet much before the target was increased to 1 lakh megawatt. So that was the idea to just promote renewables in our country. And then this came subsequently. So this has a multiplier effect now. And then he said, what would be the outcome that we are going to give? So he said, let me at least have the companies which can develop 1 lakh megawatt. So we listed out the profitable companies that worked out. And I just want to share with you, we have already got commitments of more than 1 lakh 70,000 megawatt as on today. So, and that is the type of interest companies have in renewable. The faith they have, they feel that yes, this is the viable proposition in future. So I am sure, I mean, renewable purchase obligations also the states are going to come forward. And one thing I was wondering, the APPC price, that should be revised. I mean, that should not be the historical price, but the average pool price maybe for last 3 years, or maybe the last 10% of the power at the rate that they are paying. Because otherwise they are buying renewables at a very, very preferred rate. I mean, much lower than what they are paying for conventional power. So if that is done, I think the cost of RPOs is cost of RECs come down, and I think the compliance will improve. So, and of course, whatever measures the government is taking in that, I think these will go in long way in making it mandatory, and I think then only our target would become much easier to meet our target of 1 lakh megawatt. From IREDA's side, sir, we have been tying up funds. We had, in fact, when we entered into, we were discussing with the US Exim, we never thought we will be signing it for $1 billion. We were discussing about $50 million. $50 million. Then they said maybe $100 million. And then what was discussed was, well, when the Prime Minister is coming, $100 million makes no sense. So, but then now, considering the targets have gone up so high, we feel $1 billion, it would be possible. Then we are also, I mean, in fact, China Exim was also in discussion with us. Maybe we will, if we get good terms, might be we will enter into agreement with them. Then all the multilateral agencies have tied up with us for lines of credit, ADB, KFW, AFD, JICA. So the funding from this, like if this shows their confidence, and now they're also lending to Power Grid also for Green Corridor and other things. World Bank has $6 billion probably for us.
Another company is from Power Finance also, because I feel you should rope in IIFC, India Infrastructure Finance Corporation.
They are with us, sir. We have already signed a MOU with them. We have signed a MOU with them, sir. So, I mean, for next 2-3 years, I think we are tied up. I think financing would not be a major bottleneck for these projects. And globally also, sir, today more than 500 gigawatt is added. In last 2-3 years, the investment in renewable is more than in conventional power, and this trend will follow on in India also. So with these words, I would like to thank you. Thank you for having me here, sir.
Public sir, I have a few things for you. See, one of the things is, मैं जो renewable purchase obligation की बात कह रहा हूँ, and what I am saying is very serious. See, for the last 4 years actually, states have actually built this. The DISCOMs have built the end consumer. Now the problem with the CREDA position is very clear. They say either you deposit in a fund with interest, which what you have collected, or buy renewable, or buy the certificate. Because the debt of the REC, fundamental reason is the inseriousness in this approach. Now we cannot say कि भाई 4 years you committed murder and we allow you to go scot-free. So I think somewhere, sir, for what has happened, there must be a punishment. We must bring this because they have charged the end consumer. Otherwise, it will become a national fraud. 30,000 crores, it's almost like $6 billion worth of national fraud. I wrote to the minister today, to this honorable minister, I've written 5 points. I'll share with everybody after this.
2,000 crore of REC is lying unsold.
हाँ वो तो एक अनसोल्ड है और ये क्या है कि they have charged the consumer. That is the worst part. When our report will further come, you will get a complete picture, and we are not going to end with one report. The initial report will tell you what is the nature of this stuff. We will also give the solution. All that we will give. But I feel we should bring the people to books. They can't go scot-free, whether it's a public discom, whether it's a private generator. Now we talked about generation obligation. We called that portfolio obligation in our report. The first white paper we produced, 2012. Pandian had launched it. DJ Pandian was then the Principal Secretary Energy. Saurabhai Patel was part of that, because that time Gujarat was aggressive. So we had that time, when he came, it was 40 gigawatt. And this position of 40 gigawatt came with Shyam Saranji. When he introduced the National Action Plan for Climate Change, it was in New Delhi, circa 2009, and it was Taj Mansingh. And we had none other than China NC of BJP, because we wanted a young leader from any of the parties, because some of the Congress fellows escaped, but we got China NC and she spoke on that issue. And I tell you, we had that time generated so much interest, because initial interest in all these things was very, very high at the time. People were curious also. But then the first discussion on obligations happened there for solar. So ours is a very old story, and you are very friendly, you know the whole thing. Yeah, so I feel if you allow them to go scot-free now, with the kind of order, I will share that order copy, because the full text is not there. As a media, we got possession of this, but then CREDA helped us. They said we will, because we have discussed this is an internal thing, but why should we need an RTI to ask this? I think this should be brought in public domain, that what they have done. Because if this is the type of crime that we have committed in the country, then nowhere you will be able to promote renewable, because unless you bell these cats of the past, I think this is not allowed, sir. So this is my fervent appeal to you, sir. You can take सबकी ये research होना चाहिए. हम तो करने को तैयार हैं. ये रेडा और रेपा मिलके कर सकते हैं ना. हम एक public domain की body हैं. हम किसी के खिलाफ तो नहीं है. We're not against anybody. See, we are the same people who have rewarded people in the past when they have done good work. 7 years Gujarat won awards through inertia when they were, doing the first round of renewable energy. Of course, now it has gone so slow. One more point. At the solar park, I will give you a very interesting issue. 85% of the panels were Chinese. Okay. The deterioration was phenomenal, but the tariff that they got is 15 rupees plus. 15 rupees 50 paisa at that point of time. So now, I don't want to name the manufacturer. One of the manufacturers have been constantly being approached, and he's the biggest one. He's a diamond merchant who's put up that investment. He's now expanding to 500 megawatt for manufacturing. He's going to be the leader of the country using robotics and state-of-the-art facilities, Surat-based. Hetal has helped me out in reaching there. And I will tell you what has happened in this case is very interesting. People are throwing the panels out. Almost 10% have been thrown out, and it's been replaced, and majority replaced by this chap, because he has the capacity. So those guys who have put up, all the 30 fellows who parked themselves in the solar park, are not able to add capacity, but they're trying to save themselves from what they have purchased. Right? Those Chinese things are not working, sir. So this is the first signs that deterioration was so quick that 2012, today is 2015, they lost efficiency of 20%. So this is one warning signal. So my sequence for this is, or my idea for this is, let us not take Chinese technology. Give them the lollipop of investment. Renminbi loans are available at 3.5%. Get the Chinese money into India. Don't go after the greenback, the US dollar, because the Obama ji came, we need something like 7 lakh crores, and he has just promised 2 billion. And I was shocked that media was writing, going gaga, mass media, $2 billion promise. I tell you, sir, any Lala from Mumbai who has no idea will invest that much money. Yeah. So this, he made a joke. I tell you, it was the biggest joke on the planet, that Obama comes here and gives $2 billion. And 1 billion nahi, 12 billion. You see the entire commitment to Pakistan. 10 billion will be used against you militarily. So I didn't want the people to get embarrassed, but that is the scene. So we should not be very happy, and I am very sure Modi ji is not happy with what he has done, because I am getting that message, ki result was not there. And then they used that political circumstance, giving sermons to this country, when when they were the biggest polluters once upon a time. Our friend Tata is sitting here. So, yeah, but sorry sir, I'm really saying now, yeah, I saw an article, sir, in the, this Economist, they bring out an edition, 2015, in which they have written, and they have clearly said, now India and China are biggest polluters. My God, we have number of people, if they start consuming, you will automatically calculate and say we are the worst polluters. But that's not the way to present it. See, you see the energy guzzling per person. You know, the US is the highest guzzler of energy in the world, per capita. Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like a major joke without understanding energy access issues. You know, and another thing, the secretary is not here, but I tell you, sir, inside the discussion, I'm very shocked that even people within your, ministry, we are getting friendly, so we'll tell. They are saying, ki, sir, offtake khali 150 gigawatt hai. We have 250 gigawatt, they're saying energy offtake is 150 gigawatt. I tell you, sir, this is the biggest fraud on the nation. Because you have sent so many people off the grid. और हम कह रहे हैं कि ये पैसा नहीं दे सकते. The biggest joke was, I got my friend from GetCo, Negi, argue with me last week. I told him that the parliamentary committee on energy by the previous government, headed by none other than Mulayam Singh, it itself accepted that Bihar had only 495 megawatt. This is documented, and I have brought this in one of my forums. He was saying, no, Iyer sahab, agar ye ho gaya, to main ye kar dunga. मैंने कहा सर मैं कैरियर छोड़ दूंगा. तो नेगी वॉज अफ्रेड. यू थिंक यार तू तो चैलेंज कर रहा मुझे. मैंने कहा सर मैं चैलेंज नहीं, मैं पूरा सब कुछ छोड़ दूंगा मैं, अगर आपने सच. वो गया, कहता है यार मेरे को 2011 की रिपोर्ट मिली, इट इज ओनली 210 मेगावाट. मैंने कहा अब आपको पता चला. So that document we had brought here, Murthy ji also knows, everybody knows we brought here. So we must not shut our eyes. See, because this data I have brought earlier as well, but I would like to repeat it. See, for a population of 10.8 crores, Bihar has only 495 megawatt. And they are buying roughly 2,000 megawatt odd from the market, just take care of the basic needs, to fire Patna, to fire the basic cities. Huh? Then second position is that we have Maharashtra. It has 30 gigawatt for a population of 11.8 crores. Right? See the dichotomy. And I will give you one more, UP. For again a population of roughly 22 crore people. Right? UP has 10 gigawatt. So you see, the three comparisons are there in front of you. So you... Installed for sure. It's not operating at that level. Absolutely. So what I mean to say, energy access terms, we are in pathetic state. And every day we discuss, sir, offtake ही नहीं है, demand ही नहीं है. ये मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ सबसे बड़ा झूठ है ये. Demand नहीं है. अब देखिए, you brought the grid code with the regulator bringing without an idea, an iota of an idea that what this grid code will do. What happens? The generators will go to that frequency. You can never maintain that frequency because somebody says you get free power at 50.05 is completely notional, because in this country we will never achieve a frequency of more than 48 hertz. And this was first in our forum educated by none other than Yogendra Prasad. Now after that, what he said, he only said that we will send all the people off the grid, because now what we'll do, we'll buy less to escape penalty, and all the discounts, because the losses have increased suddenly because you're not able to maintain the frequency issue, right? And we can say, okay, NTPC and all wanted that the frequency should be maintained because the machines were going down. Obviously it will go down, because what has happened to hydro? From 26%, it has fallen to 15%. So suddenly the balance is not there. If the balance is not there, your machines are in trouble. So it's spiraling situation, for all of us. And this spiraling situation, unless we tackle it, then all the smart gridding business will not happen, I am telling you. Sir, smart grid will only come subsequently. Low-hanging fruit we have to catch. Energy access terms, we have to produce the entire 250 gigawatt first. Our country is short of 100 gigawatt is my calculation. It's simply that 100 gigawatt which you are not generating, if you look at plain terms. So while we add capacity, I think we need to seriously, see, we work on renewables and all this, but seriously we need to look at what is happening to existing capacities as well. Because the renewable energy is going to get the kick, because now they will say, okay, back off, like Tamil Nadu did for many times because of non-availability of corridor. So we will build capacity, not purchase, ask for back off, people get disinterested in what we are talking. And I will also sound a warning signal. Vibrant Gujarat is the most successful state meet in the country. We had the 7th Vibrant Gujarat. We have an open data in front of you. For the number of commitments and MOU signed, the realization now is a high 13% according to them, because it's very good. But actually, 8% is the average that materialized. So what is signed and what comes on the ground we must clearly know. And this is because the same formula was followed, which is call the big club, 30 big guys. Because I am telling you, they are very happy getting photograph with the Prime Minister, getting this. I'm sorry, I'm talking like this, but they will not commit, I'm telling you, to the capacity. The capacity will be committed by thousands of smaller people. And these smaller people are not very small. For example, I'll give you, there are companies in the mid segments. You know, you need to encourage the mid-segment companies. I have one of my friends, Patel Engineering here. What is the encouragement you have given? Our friend Khosla is already retired from there, but basically the situation is so bad. I met Nimish, these guys are surviving now. These guys are not paid for their hydro, where they will go. They started renewable, they are unable to do. So I'm saying, look at HCC. He will like to, Gulab Chand is a big businessman. He's one of the biggest, he's going to get our award for infrastructure. But he will get disinterested in energy. Because what he's doing, he's happy with Lavasa city. So are we saying that these businessmen are not there? So मैं थोड़ा सा ये thinking, आपके भी यहाँ से भी इनको डाल, को लब बड़े खुश हैं लोग, साइन हो रहा है, लेकिन साइन होएगा मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ आएगा नहीं सर, ये ना हो. 14th को आप हम लोग को तो, you know, I for REPA I will request you, our people should be called there. At least we should be part of that. You know, because what is happening? The big club is enjoying. So call us. We are not small club. We are the real big club. We are the gigawatt scale. See, in Mumbai itself, I told you rooftop is 3000 megawatt. We have mapped India cities to 50 gigawatt for rooftop based business. So that is not small. Small is beautiful is the right thing that he said, Prakashamji. And small is very powerful, sir. It's really big because you can grid connect all this power. And technology can come in. Policy needs to be constructed. You need the inverters to be on the grid. And you need a kind of a policy construct which allows this kind of technology to operate with safety. So thank you, sir, once again for your time today. And we give him a big hand. May I have the... kindly felicitate, sir, with some flowers. Arora Saab, Popli Saab in the middle. It will be wonderful. Help us in Saraswati Park. Thank you.